So the first question, the process of transformation of the European energy system aims to make better use of electricity consumers and specialized companies dealing with aggregation of demand to ensure the safety and stability of the system. Such experiences coming from the American market indicate the key role of specialized aggregators. What ambitions does VPP have in this area?
Well, VPP has substantial ambitions in this area, but first of all, the whole area of aggregation of demand side is something that's really taken off in the North American market and in many other parts of the world. So what we see for VPP is really fulfilling a niche role for that organisation where previous demand side aggregators have found it difficult to be able to get demand side and to be able to get full value of that. As well as that, VPP has a role in energy efficiency, and that really adds value to the customer in so much more ways again.
But what are the chances for DSR development in Poland? How can we use the experience from abroad to take full advantage for these opportunities?
What I've seen, and I've worked in many parts of the world now with regards to demand side, is that the models that we see in North America and in Australia, in Singapore and New Zealand and many other places around the world are very much applicable to Poland. And we're already starting to see many European countries taking the aggregation model that is quite common in other parts of the world and using it. So I don't see that there's any real obstacle for the Polish market. I think you certainly have some regulatory hurdles to overcome, but that's not unusual. It happens everywhere. So I think there's a very bright future for Poland.
But what are the foreign investors, such as Michael Zammit, who cooperates with global leaders of modern energy market, looking for in Poland?
What we're seeing here is really a strategic investment. The Polish market is just starting in terms of looking at demand-side capability. There's a lot of activity. You're very much a part of Europe. So from many angles, I think we can see that it's really the right time to invest. As well as that, if you're looking at from the point of view of VPP is a very unique company. There aren't really many companies, if there aren't any companies like it in the world. And as such, I think it really brings together like a perfect storm where you've got a market opportunity and a business opportunity coming together, and that's very rare. So I think it's a really good time to invest in it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but in what ways can the experiences of Australian energy market be used in Poland? Are there any barriers, legal or regulatory, that at the present moment can be hindered to the development of companies such as VPP?
Oh, there are certainly some regulatory barriers here, and we have similar barriers and have had similar barriers in Australia as well. But I think the experiences from Australia are certainly adaptable to what's happening here in Poland, and the benefits of demand-side aggregation is something that will play, I think, quite a substantial role, not just in the European market, but generally speaking, not only in the Polish market, but in the European market overall. So I think there's a very bright future for it.
VPP is a quite new project in Poland. Tell us what kind of products can you offer?
There are really a couple of products, but as we move forward, I think you'll see a widening of the product mix. So first of all, it's very much around energy efficiency. How do I get my plant to perform better? In many places, they tend to spend capital investment to actually improve their plant. What we're saying is keep the plant that you've got and we can improve it for you, so you don't have that capital investment. So that's the first product. The second product is to provide demand response. So in the first product you have energy efficiency capabilities which will reduce your costs, and then demand response will provide some revenue for you. So you're really getting a double hit. As we move forward, we can see an opportunity to get into things like facilities management, analysis of data, so you can manage your processes a lot better and better understand what your electricity bill means. And then further down the track, there might be security services. Well, who knows? I mean, there could be quite a few things in it.
Okay. VPP created intelligent tools which enable adjusting the energy and heat consumption in the buildings to their variable load. What kind of additional products, services associated with the use of these tools can VPP offer to energy consumers? What is the innovation?
The innovation that's coming is really quite substantial. So what we're seeing is a move towards a smart grid. And that is where power is no longer being generated at one place and then being consumed in another, but rather power is being produced at your place, in my community, my town, and can come and go in any direction. So this is a smart grid type concept, and really smart grid is looking for platforms, enabling technologies which will allow that intelligence to be able to know where the power is needed, where it's got to go, how it's going to get there. And VPP plays a very significant role in terms of that smart grid capability moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Since the beginning of the year 2040, electricity prices on the stock market grow both in spot contracts and future market. VPP offers customers energy supply optimization costs through intelligent control of energy demand while taking into account the load of the facilities. How much further can your costs associated with energy consumption be reduced? And what is the intelligent management of energy consumption of VPP? And the last, how to buy energy cheaper?
Well, if we take it from the point of view of energy efficiency, which, as I mentioned earlier, is really the first product offering from VPP, energy efficiency is not an end game. We're not going to do one thing and then achieve energy efficiency. Energy efficiency is a journey. If you reach that point, you continue to go on and on and on. So what VPP allows you to do is really get a better understanding of that journey so that you not only make your savings today, but you continue to make savings into the future, and those savings will aggregate more and more. So from that point of view, I think given the price rises that you've seen in Poland, it positions you very well for future price rises so that you've got better control over the costs. The other thing is that we provide a capability to give you a better understanding of your electricity bill, so you know why the costs are going up and where they're going up. And it depends on how you use electricity, where you're using electricity. And with demand response, you can then shift that electricity use and actually get revenue as a compensation for it as well. So I think the future using a VPP type platform will be extremely useful for Polish industry.
What is, in your opinion, the future of energy market in Poland and Europe? We are talking still about low cost and reduce the emission. What do you think? What is the future?
I think it's a global thing. It's not just for Poland and Europe, but really it's a global thing. Climate change is very real, and we need to address climate change. Now, to address it means that we have to look at alternative methods of generation, so renewable energy, which are in themselves inherently fluctuating, and demand response can play a role in being able to manage that fluctuation. We can't rely on the old days of burning more fuel, so energy efficiency has to play a role in there as well. And I think those are the two major platforms that you're going to see coming forward, not just here in Poland, not just here in Europe, but globally.
Okay, and the last, I would like to ask you about competition. Enspiron is the first company in Poland which started providing services for managing demand for electricity energy. Is this a competition for VPP, or rather can be a possible collaboration?
Let me preface by saying, look, I think it's fantastic. It's great to see at least somebody coming into the market with a demand response capability, because then it proves that, you know what, there is some willingness in the market to welcome demand response. In terms of VPP, well, we could look at it from the point of view of being a competitor, but quite frankly, VPP plays in a niche role. We look at areas of demand response capability that really most demand response aggregators don't look at because it's too hard. I'll give you an example. Cinemas. Well, cinemas are used mainly during the evening periods, and really what do they have that they could reduce their consumption? It's very difficult. But cinemas are a sweet spot for us because how many times have you gone to a cinema and it's only been you and your partner, and it's freezing cold because the BMS, the building management system, is working too hard. Now, we're not asking the customer to change the building management system. What we're saying is we can make it work much better for you without having to outlay that capital cost. So I think Esperion's entry into the market here is fantastic, and what VPP will do will complement Esperion's capability and Eninox's capability, whoever else might come into the market. And we're looking forward to it.